It's a tremendous honor, and I think it's as much a recognition of a community that we've been fortunate to be part of, to build upon the work of others, but also to have really had the chance to think carefully and in depth about the forces that are changing the economy and changing the world. And to have this event and to be part of this community is just a tremendous honor.
There are at least two different things on there. I mean, one, it's stunning to just look at the other people on the list. To think that one of our ideas could be included with that list is unbelievable. These are the people we studied in graduate school, so it's incredible to be thinking about that. The other thing I'm hoping is that we can actually use this as a launch pad for doing some good. Is it possible to actually take some of these ideas, and give everyone rights and platforms, solve fake news, see if we can actually deal with antitrust questions. I think that there's so much more that can be done with these management ideas. It's just extraordinary to have this opportunity. Thank you.
And actually, let me just riff a little bit on that, because if you think about what Marshall just said in terms of trying to do good, you think about platforms, there's a tremendous amount of consternation and fear. But there are also opportunities around governance and regulation, particularly around things like data ownership and portability, that may actually be able to solve some of these issues.
So let me give it to you in two different thoughts. The first is, in a nutshell, the simplest of the ideas, most recent, is the platforms are inverted firms. All of these are based on network effects, and network effects don't scale inside an organization. You have to scale them outside because there's simply more people. What that means is value creation moves from inside to outside. So almost all the things we teach in a management school, whether it's strategy or operations or finance or marketing, moves to community-based stuff where it's not vertical integration with assets you own. It's open orchestration for assets third parties have to volunteer. That's a very different management style. The second thing is, a long time ago, back in the heyday of dot-com boom and dot-com bust, why is it free information or giving away things for free actually was a profit maximizing business model? Geoff and I have been working on that question practically since the days of dissertation. And by giving away to one community, you could actually build and grow a separate community. It's fundamentally different than razors and blades or printers and cartridges, so it's a different management or different financial model. So we hope to develop some of the math and analytics. So it's those two ideas. One is the platform as an inverted firm, and the other is its contribution to the economics and management on two-sided pricing of goods on platform.
Well, I think I already began to introduce that, but it's almost impossible to ignore the tremendous growth of the technology firms. And in many ways, people fear them. And I think it's sort of our responsibility as people who think about the drivers of that growth to also think about some of the solutions. And again, it's around how do you govern and regulate them without destroying the tremendous value that these systems create, and instead return sort of ownership and surplus back to the people who contributed to their growth in the first place.
So what are two or three different things we'll be working on in addition? So one might be, how do you value platforms? Platforms are fundamentally different business models, and they don't behave like traditional financial models. Another one would be, how do we address the damage of fake news? And how would we give you property rights in your own data? You and I don't get a vote on the ecosystems of Page and Bezos and Zuckerberg. So how do we restore citizen rights in those ecosystems, those things that govern our daily lives? So that will be a large part of our research going forward.
A related issue, not so much around the governance, but it's really around the organizational structure. Because as Marshall said a bit earlier, these are fundamentally different ways of managing firms because the value creation is external as opposed to internal. And so we're interested in identifying sort of the white spaces in management structures where it's clear that organizations need to invest and build new capabilities.
So I would just add to that, we should thank Des and Stuart for bringing us all together, for creating a forum for the exchange of these ideas, and in some sense creating a stepping stone or a foundation for all of us to launch further and bigger things. So really, again, say thank you to the community for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.